what you see on the screen behind me is a snake mating ritual. And these are actually garter snakes living in Manitoba, Canada. And when these snakes come out of hibernation, which they do as reptiles, they all are in a rush to mate as quickly as possible. So all of these snakes have to sort through this big pile of snakes to find a female snake, right? So the only difference between the male snakes and the female snakes is the female snakes are a little bit bigger. So the male snakes are going through this big pile of snakes, and they wrap themselves around the female snake, and they all get all tangled together because they're snakes, and it forms a ball which rolls down the hill like a mating ball. That's what it's called. And but sometimes a male snake will pretend to be a female snake, like you see here, and attract other male snakes, and that'll protect him from overhead predators because he'll be surrounded by this ball of snakes. So here's another example. The cuttlefish is a cephalopod. This is a giant cuttlefish. They grow up to 3 feet long and they live in Australia. And this is a cuttlefish mating ritual. So you'll see the female cuttlefish have their tentacles pursed, and they're this lighter pink color. And the larger striped cuttlefish are the male cuttlefish. So the male cuttlefish are looking to impress the female cuttlefish, which they indicate by pursing their tentacles. The male cuttlefish will cover the female cuttlefish while they're mating, which subsequently protects the female cuttlefish from any overhead predators, much like the snakes. But a big difference between a garter snake mating ritual and a cuttlefish mating ritual is that the cuttlefish will often physically remove smaller cuttlefish from the area in order to mate with the chosen female. However, here is a smaller cuttlefish who has been very ingenious because we see that he has pursed his tentacles and changed his coloring to imitate that of a female. Therefore, while he's mating with a female, he can attract another male who will cover both of them, another larger male, that will protect them all from overhead predators. So, what does this mean? What does this mean for us? What does this mean for humanity? And what does this mean for all the systems and structures that we've set up in our world and all the binaries that we operate by? Well, basically, we know that snakes are the most highly evolved creature that exists. We know that snakes have the most brain power, and we know that they're clearly smarter than all other creatures on the planet, all mammals at least. The cuttlefish and other cephalopods, along with the snakes, have such a large brain-to-body ratio. The weight of their brain is almost double that of their body alone, meaning that they have so much brain power that they can just think in levels that aren't even possible, or even we don't even have the ability to conceive how these animals can think because of their highly developed brains. And language is often considered to be the bastion of human experience and the reason that humans are the best creature, but we all know that snakes are the most highly evolved, and all reptiles really are some of the most incredible creatures on this earth. So in this image, most human creatures would use their top-down processing and they would see the silhouette of a woman. But this is actually not a woman, but in fact just a blasphemous, floating mass of plasma that is shooting through space at almost 100 miles an hour. And our snake overlords are looking down on this, and they're seeing it happening, and they're letting it happen because they know that we're foolish, and they've accepted that. Basically, what does this mean for heterosexuality? What does this mean for homosexuality? What does this mean for any polar binary system that we've established over the course of thousands of years of humanity? Basically, we can just establish that nothing is okay. Structure has failed us, and in reality, fluidity is the true nature. So, what does this mean? This means that nobody knows what they want. And when I say nobody, I don't mean any living being. I mean only us human creatures. We don't know what we want, we don't know what we are, really, because we've put ourselves into these boxes. And again, our reptilian overlords are watching this with such disdain, but again, they've accepted it. Snakes, scientifically, are superior beings to all humans, all mammals, And one day we'll face the herpetological coming, and that'll be the end of humanity, and fluidity will take over, and binaries will be over. Thank you.